Is this moving slowly? Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Oh gosh, you guys, the tech today has been something else. Happy Friday Eve to everybody. My computer is moving slowly. I'm going to check and make sure that we are actually live in my Facebook group. Yes, I see us. Awesome. So as always, we've got Facebook and my YouTube channel here on my laptop. YouTubers, I want you to smash the subscribe button so you never miss one of my live weekly trainings or my guest experts. And if you're coming to me through Facebook and you haven't already done this, if you've done it once, you don't have to do it again, unless you're on a different device. Go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and give permission for Facebook and StreamYard to talk to each other and for StreamYard to show your name, your Facebook username, so that when you ask a question in the comments, Rachel and I know who you are. But if you've already done it once, don't worry about it. You should be good to go. Today, you guys know this because you've been so excited for this all week. I had so many great comments from people saying, oh my gosh, is there going to be a replay? Oh my gosh, this is content that I need. Guest expert Rachel Lindteigen, and Rachel, I hope that I did your last name correctly. Rachel Lindteigen is here. She is our SEO expert and strategist, and she is going to break down SEO for us, search engine optimization. She's going to break it down in a way that we can all understand, me included. She's going to make it so simple, and she's here for you for your questions too. So as you have comments or questions, toss those in, and we will answer all the questions at the end. But first, I want to introduce myself, just in case this is the first time we've ever met. I am Tracy Beavers, and I am your business and sales coach with over 20 years of experience in marketing, sales, and business growth. I have helped hundreds of entrepreneurs just like you get visible, grow your audience and your email list and your income. And I offer private one-to-one coaching. By the way, I only have 2 spots left for the summer. And I have an 8-week group coaching program called Business Visibility Made Easy. It is the program for list growth. My new group of students started last month. They are doing amazing things. They are gaining visibility. They are growing their email lists. We have our live Q&A session every Thursday morning. We were on for an hour and a half today. It was so energizing. They're all of the things that they're working through and the ideas they're giving each other. If you are looking for a program like this, go to tracybeavers.com/BVME for Business Visibility Made Easy. Boy, Victor, Mary, Edward. It reopens in fall of this year in October. So grab your spot on the wait list. And as you know, starting this month, we have a new format for the live trainings. So there's going to be 2 live trainings where it's just me giving you some awesome business information and marketing tips and email list growth tips. We're going to have 1 guest expert a month. Rachel is our guest for the month of June. And then we're going to have 1 entrepreneurial inspiration interview. A member from my Facebook group is going to be chosen, or volunteers, whichever, to be interviewed to talk about their entrepreneurial journey, how they got where they are, why did they decide to get on this crazy roller coaster with all of us, right? And I think it's going to be so impactful for everybody to hear from other entrepreneurs that are just like us, because we are way more alike than we're different. And we all think we're the only one who deals with imposter syndrome or, deals with perfectionism. We're all in the same boat. It's going to be a great dose of inspiration for everybody. So I want to get to the point of this training. I am privileged to be able to call Rachel my friend. Let me introduce her to you. She is an SEO content strategist and has worked in digital marketing for about 20 years. So she started when she was 6. Yes, she's a child prodigy. She got a BA in broadcast journalism and an MBA with an emphasis in marketing. And during her career, she has worked with Fortune 100 e-commerce retailers, small business owners, franchise organizations, and nonprofits. She left the corporate world in the dust in 2016 and founded Etched Marketing. And she works directly with her clients. And through the Etched Marketing Academy, she teaches SEO and content marketing to small business owners through online courses. And I am in her SEO program. I joined it, I think it was last February or January. I can't remember.
January, yeah.
I'm telling you what, she is the expert. So Rachel, is there anything you want to add about yourself? I'm going to go ahead and add this. Rachel and I were giggling this morning because it's summertime and she has a young son and he is not at camp this week, but he will be next week. And she's like, I'm just going to go ahead and apologize if he pops into the live. And I thought, that's fine because I am jockeying for position with our Wi-Fi bandwidth with our son who's home from college. So I don't know how many other moms out there that can relate to that. But anyway, Rachel, so if he makes an appearance, that's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, he rejected camp. We went on Tuesday and I scheduled everything for Tuesday and Thursday so he could do 2 half days. And it's just aftercare camp from school, but it's a different school and he doesn't like it as much. And even though his director's there, he told me he never wants to go back. And I was like, great, because I have all these meetings scheduled. So it's Camp Mama this week. So Camp Mama was no screens until mommy's meeting started. So he's on Roblox. So we're fighting for Roblox bandwidth, but it'll be okay.
Oh my God.
And he's my main reason that I went out on my own. He was about 18 months old when I went out on my own. And as much as I loved my career, I hated that he spent more time with Nanny Sabina than he did with mommy because I was not a child prodigy, though I wish. I was an older mom. And so to be able to have him, like I waited so long to be able to have him. He's 8.
Yeah.
And I wanted more time with him. And as awesome as my career was, and it was amazing. Like I got to live that life of being in and out of Manhattan. And I had clients on Madison Avenue. And like I lived that life. And then I came home to Arizona and it was like, oh, okay, back to normal. But it just didn't gel as well once I had a family. So I love that I get to do this. And if he pops in, I don't think we'll see him because he's got screens right now. But if he does,
it's absolutely okay. Absolutely okay. All right, let's dive in. Okay. And I know you're going to simplify this for all of us, especially for me. What is SEO? And can you explain it, boil it down where it's like super easy to understand?
Absolutely. So when I do this, I always think of one of my clients from the corporate world who explained it to my boys, because some of my boys who worked for me could not explain it in a way that normal, real smart people could understand because they spent too much time locked in like the IT closet or the basement. Anyway, she said, imagine that you're taking me through the park and you've got me hand in hand and you're explaining to me, hey, look, this is a flower. This is purple. It's called a daisy. And so I always think of her as I'm helping to explain it because you're smart. You're smart entrepreneurs. You're smart people. You just need someone to explain this in a way that makes sense. So that's my job. So SEO is search engine optimization. What it boils down to is it's a series of things we do on our website to make it easier for Google to understand what our website is about.
Okay.
Because when Google can understand your site and Google starts to trust you, they're more likely to show your site to new people. So SEO, or search engine optimization, we pair with content marketing. SEO drives targeted, relevant traffic to our site. And we're going to talk in a minute about what exactly that means and what you do on your website to get that traffic. Okay. Your content works hand in hand, kind of like peanut butter and jelly. They're just better together.
Yeah.
They work hand in hand. Your content is your like and trust factors. So if you've heard people talk about it, and I'll bet you've talked about it, Tracy, your like, know, and trust. SEO is know, content is like and trust.
Okay.
You have to work with Google. And the one last thing I want to say here that really is usually that light bulb aha moment. Google is a business. Google wants to maintain their gigantic market share. Like 97% of all search goes through Google. Google doesn't want to give that up.
Right.
So the only way that Google maintains that, because what Google sells are ads. Google makes money based on the ads that they sell to the people who are searching. So if they lose their market share, they lose their ad audience, they lose revenue. So they want to make sure that the people who are coming to their search engine get really, really good results. So you have to partner with Google so that they trust you. They know you and trust you and are more likely to show you to their customer, because that person who's searching, they're not your customer yet. They're Google's customer. And Google wants to know that they can trust you. And that's what your SEO is you building trust with Google so they'll show you to more people.
Interesting. I love that. Yes. Okay. That is simple. I can understand that. Okay. So my next question that I know everybody wants to know is, do we have to do SEO? Do we have to have it, or can we skip it? But based on what you just said, I'm thinking the answer is we can't really skip it. Is that right?
Well, you can skip it as long as you don't care about getting traffic. But if you want to get traffic, if you want your website to be visible, and Tracy teaches you all about visibility, if you want to grow your email list, you want to have people find you, you want to get traffic, you want to sell your products and services without relying 100% on ads. If you have a budget that allows you to rely completely on ads and you're fine with that, then yeah, you can skip it.
Okay.
Unless you have that 100% ad budget, you need to do it the right way. And we're going to talk about that because a lot of people, I'm super curious, how many people have tried SEO in the past? How many have not gotten results? Because usually that's a big group until you come in. And did you took the class with me, Tracy? Did you have moments where you're like, that's why it didn't work? Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Lots of times I went, oh,
now I know.
I should have hired Rachel earlier.
That's what I'm here for, is to help you learn and understand, because SEO will work 100% of the time if you understand how it works and you do it right and you follow the rules. It always works.
I love that, because as you're saying, so, and this is an organic strategy. You know, I'm all about the free organic stuff. Yes, there's some tools you can pay for to help you with the SEO, but just as you're saying, unless you can skip it if you've got thousands and thousands of dollars to spend on ads, but those ads aren't guaranteed to work, even if you follow all the rules. But you're saying that SEO will work every time if we follow all the rules. I like that.
Consumers trust the organic search rankings, and there's at least a 10x increase in the number of people who click through. So in Google Ads, 3% is considered to be a really good click-through rate on an ad, which means 97 out of 100 do not click. So 3 out of 100 do, and that's a good click-through rate. In SEO, in the organic listings, if you're in position number 1, the research shows anywhere from 34 to 37% of people will click on that number 1 listing. That's a 10x increase, and it's a free click.
Yeah.
That right there is what's doing the work. And it's people who are looking for something, like they're literally searching for something related to your business. And then if we go over to Meta and we talk about Facebook ads, which I do, I'm running a promotion right now with them, but we're interrupting people there. They're not actively looking for it. And our goal conversion rate there is 1%. If 1% of the people who see our ad click, our ad is considered to be excellent.
Right. God, that's interesting. Gosh, numbers don't lie, do they? I mean, wow. Yeah. Okay. So you convinced me. I think you've convinced everybody. This is a free strategy. If we do it right, it's going to work every time. I love that. That is so reassuring, because there's so much in this online space that you're throwing spaghetti at the wall. Like, is this going to work? So I like that there's some surety with this one. So how do we break this down step by step where it doesn't feel enormous? And like, do you suggest that we focus on perfecting our website for SEO before we do something like a blog for SEO?
So let's just start at the beginning. Your blog and your website, if you have them together, meaning your blog is a subfolder. And I'm going to get technical for 1 second, but I'm going to explain it. So tracybeavers.com/blog is the setup we want, because that means all the links and everything that we build and all the traffic that comes to your blog supports your website as well.
Okay.
If we had blog.tracybeavers.com, that's on a subdomain and it doesn't help you at all. Okay. So you want to make sure you're /blog, and that way it's on your website.
Got it. Okay.
Most small business owners are going to run into an issue where the keywords that they're going after for their homepage, like email coach, marketing coach, for me, search engine optimization, I cannot rank for SEO. I can't, because all the SEO tools rank. So I can't rank for it, and that's okay. So if you're in a situation like that where it's super competitive, your blog is actually more important than your SEO on your website. You want to do it. You want to still have your optimization, because Google is going to see it, but also your potential customer is going to see it in the search results. So you still do it. But the majority of your traffic is actually going to come from your blog in the early days.
Okay.
And that's why blogging is so important. So what we're going to do step by step. Number one, we're going to choose one unique keyword for each page or blog post. One keyword. So if you've currently got the same keyword on like every page, that's a mistake. And you're not going to get results because Google's only going to show you a maximum of 2 times for any given keyword, which means if you're using that keyword on 10 pages, you've just limited yourself to 2 opportunities to show versus 10 if you use different keywords. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Number 1 is a unique keyword. Now, the caveat with this, that needs to be the keyword that your ideal customer is using. So I've had a number of students who have had issues with this, and I had clients who had issues with this in the corporate world. I did a training recently, very similar to this, with a doula group. It was marketing for doulas.
Okay.
We ran into challenges because people in the group were referring to themselves as birth workers.
Okay. That's not a word I've heard before.
That's not a word I've heard before.
No.
I have a student right now who is a coach who is referring to herself as a midlife rediscovery coach and came to the realization that nobody knows what that is. She is now a divorce coach. As of yesterday's session with me, and she said, I feel like nobody's looking for this. I'm like, what is this?
Right.
She's now a divorce coach. So the caveats here are really make sure you're using a term that your ideal customer is using. This is not unique to us as small business owners. I had a very large client, major outdoor retailer, coats, jackets, all that. Everybody and their brother knows it and probably owns some of their clothing. Awesome company. They sold day packs. Because day packs are used for hiking and biking, and backpacks are used for kids to go to school. Except nobody searches day packs.
That's true. I don't.
When they changed, they now sell backpacks because I showed them the data and was able to say, and this was many years ago, guys, nobody's buying day packs, they're buying backpacks. This is what you need to rank for. So use the word that your ideal customer is using.
I love that. I love that because it goes right along with everything they should already be doing for their marketing messaging. So if they've got that dialed in already, then the keyword should be easy to find. It should be something they're already using.
But it tends to be very hard. Just because. So part number 2, and this is the challenge, Tracy, is I want you to take that word that you're thinking you want to use, and I want you to go to Google, and I want you to look to see who's showing up on page 1. More importantly, who's in positions 1, 2, and 3, because the vast majority of the traffic goes to positions 1, 2, and 3. Nobody other than your mom or your best friend is going to look for your website on page 2. So it doesn't count if you're on page. I'm sorry. Like
my mom wouldn't even do. She'd be like, you're not on those.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not on page 1, you don't count. So we need you to be on page 1 for you to get traffic, not being mean, just being honest.
Right. Yeah.
So if the sites that are at the top of page 1 for that keyword are really big, like I said, I can't rank for the SEO terms because it's all the tools. It's the big sites. Then you have to look for a different keyword. So think of your keyword as your seed term and go back to your keyword research tool or keep searching in Google and look for something else that has a little less competition because you really need to be able to rank to get traffic. This is also where relying more on blog content is going to make a big difference. I can rank high for a lot of things about SEO. I can rank high for things like, is Chat GPT content good for SEO? How do I do SEO on my website? All of that kind of stuff I can rank for. SEO, I can't. I go after what I can rank for.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Once you've got your keyword, you're going to use it in very specific elements on your page because those are the places that Google looks for signs to understand what the page is about. And there are specific rules. I do have an SEO content quick start guide that has all the rules and everything in it. Tracy's got the link for it. Is it okay if I give them a chat option?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If you don't want to have to write any of this down, go to my Instagram. It's at Etched Marketing Academy, or go to it on Facebook. DM me the word SEO, and I'm going to send you the guide that has all the stuff I'm going to talk about in the next couple of minutes. Okay. So we'll make it super easy, or go to the website to the freebies page. It's there as well.
Right. And Jill just popped the link into the chat on Facebook. So
perfect. So now you're going to put that in your title tag.
Okay.
You're going to put it in your meta description. Okay. You're going to put it in your copy. You're going to put it in your header tags. You're going to put it in your image alt text. You're going to put it in your image file name. You're also going to put it in your URL if you have a URL that you can customize, like a blog post. So this is why I told you to get the guide, so you don't have to write all this. The title tag is a maximum of 60 characters, and that includes spaces. Use your keyword. If you can include a call to action verb, something like look, discover, find out, shop, we actually have seen up to a 30% increase in the click-through rate, meaning the number of people who see it, who click on it, just by adding that. So if you can add that, that's awesome.
Cool.
Your meta description, and your ideal customer sees your title tag and your meta description in the Google search results, so that you're writing these for your customer. You're including the keyword for Google.
Okay.
Your meta description, you want to think of as an introduction. It gives them a little bit more information about it. It's 160 characters maximum, including spaces. Again, use your keyword.
Okay.
Then for image file name, use your keyword in it. Use the dash, the one that looks like a minus sign, because Google reads that as a space. And now bonus, put your business name in there, because now when people search your business name, every single image that you've optimized on your website has a chance of ranking and showing up. So if they go over like to Google image search, all your blog posts are there, all your content, all of it is there. It's great. It's another way to really make your business look bigger and show additional visibility. You want to own as much of the search engine results real estate as possible.
Yeah.
So do the same thing with your file names on your YouTube videos. Do all of that, because it all gets indexed and it all shows up.
Okay. Gosh. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Everybody needs to go grab that guide. And YouTubers, I'm going to put it into the show notes once this is over. So stick with me. Okay. Let me go back to my questions, because I made this list of questions. All right. So we've walked through how to do it step by step, and the key things that we need to think about. How long does this take to get results?
This is not overnight. This is not instantaneous. It does generally take 12 to 24 months to really start to see growth. Now, SEO is like your retirement account. So you're putting a little bit in. Everybody knows you're supposed to do weekly content. I'm sure you're teaching them to do weekly content the same as you and I do it, whether we want to do it or not.
Exactly.
Because I know you don't want to do yours today, and I really didn't want to do it the other day. So dude, none of us are exempt from the I don't want to do it today.
I don't want to do a YouTube short today, but I'm going to do one anyway.
Exactly. So you suck it up and you do it.
Yep.
So we all know we need to do one post a week. If you do one post a week and you do it consistently and you follow what I teach you, you will get traffic. It'll start slowly, but then it builds and it builds and it builds. So that first year, I'm looking for my note with my numbers, because I was working on my numbers for a training class. Let's say that we target something with 100 searches a month and we rank in position 1. That gets us about 34 searches a month or 34 visits a month for that one blog post.
Okay.
Now imagine if we do that 50 times in the year. Now we're at like 1,700 visits for free from that blog post.
Yeah.
Now we have those working, and then next year we're doing it again. Now we've doubled that.
Okay.
And then the third year we've tripled it. And the fourth year we've quadrupled it. That's where you get SEO driving crazy amounts of traffic. And 100 searches a month is not a really big keyword. It's still low volume. You can make great results and get great traffic with low volume keywords. It's just about the consistency. I had a client in the corporate world who referred to SEO as the unstoppable train. And it really is, because they did every single thing that we ever recommended they do. They didn't fight us on it. They just did what we said to do. And they got the most amazing results, to the point that she asked me, she's like, I've got $35,000 over here. I had slated for additional Google ads for Q4. I don't want to put that money into it. I get a better return from SEO. What can you do?
Wow, that's amazing.
Like, we can help you spend your money.
Let me me make you a list.
And we got her better results.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the analogy of it's kind of like your retirement program, like plan, because what you're describing is like compound interest in an investment account. This is compound traffic over.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that explains why it takes a while. Okay, that helps a lot.
It takes time, but like personally, some of my best performing blog posts are 5 and 6 years old.
Interesting.
So you can still make a ton of money. You can generate a ton of traffic. And even if your business evolves over 5 years, because they all do, you go back, you refresh, you update, you add in your current opt-in. Like my opt-in is, I'm on like version 4. So you better believe I've gone back through and I've updated them.
Yeah. So what are some of the most common mistakes before we hop into the questions? Because I did see a few questions come through. And I know we're almost out. We're not out of time, but we're almost going up on 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What are some of the most common mistakes you see that people like me make?
So the most common are we choose the wrong keyword.
Okay.
We either target the same keyword on every single page, or we target a keyword that we're never going to be able to rank for, so nobody is going to see us, or we target a keyword that our ideal customer doesn't use, like birth worker or midlife reinvention coach when they're searching doula and divorce coach.
Right.
Or we allow ourselves to be intimidated and afraid of SEO, so we keep putting it off.
Are you talking about me?
And we keep saying, I'll get to that later. The other thing I see is the should. We should all over ourselves. I should learn SEO. I know I need to do it. I know they say to do it, but you don't want to admit that you don't really understand why it's important. And so you've heard it's important, but you don't understand. So you haven't done it. Or you've tried to watch a few YouTube videos, you've read a few blogs, maybe you've listened to a couple things like this and you've thought, I can start this. I can do this on my own. I can figure this out. And so you try and you don't realize that you're making mistakes, and then you don't get results because it does take a while to get results. And then you fall into the trap of SEO doesn't work.
Right.
And the reality is when I sit down with students and clients, it's always one of those 3-4 things. It's almost always something to do with the keyword strategy. And once I can explain to them why it's not working and teach them what to do instead, then we can turn them around and start getting them results.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Gosh. Yes. And I'm one of those people. Like I had somebody that I thought was writing my blog using SEO best practices. Turns out they weren't, because I didn't know enough about SEO to ask them the right questions to know if they knew what they were doing. And my blog wasn't getting any traction. So I just paused it thinking I was going to come back to it. And here I am a year later with no new blog content, because it's just something that I've had to pause. And it has felt enormous. But what I love about working with you is you're shortcutting that timeline for people. You're shortcutting the frustration, the timeline. You're giving them all the best, like, here's how you do it well.
Yes.
Follow this, and you're going to save yourself so much time and so much. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah. I remember when we first looked at your blog and I'm like, oh my gosh, Tracy, I'm sorry, but nothing is right. And I have clients that are the same way. One of my longest term clients came to me and he says, I don't think I just have the feeling my SEO guy's not doing anything. I haven't ever gotten a report. I've been working with him for 2 years.
Yep.
And when I finally got access to his Google Analytics and did his first report, I didn't want to give it to him, even though it wasn't my work. I didn't want to be the one to tell him, your last guy stole money from you. He did nothing. Like, he invoiced you for 2 years and your SEO traffic was down every single month that you worked with him. That's why I tell people, whether you want to do it yourself or you want to outsource it, you need to know enough to ask the questions, to interpret the data, and to understand what it means, so that you know you're getting your money's worth. Because there are a lot of people out there who claim to be SEOs and SEO experts, and yet they've never had to answer a hard question. They've never sat across the table from the president of e-commerce for some big brand. One in particular was scary. That man was scary. And he wanted to know why. it had performed the way it had. And you couldn't tell him that his organic search traffic was down because he had increased his paid search spend, even though that does impact it. That was not an acceptable answer. You
Wow.
had to be able to prove a keyword had dropped, your strategy wasn't working, it was time for a refresh. This is where it happened. You need somebody who understands how all the pieces work together,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of intricacies and there's a lot of interrelated things with SEO.
Yeah, gosh. Wow. Okay. Let's hop into the comments really fast because I do know there's a couple questions. Michael asked, how do we find out more about Rachel's SEO program? Great question.
Awesome. Love it. Okay. And perfect timing, Michael, because I am teaching live next week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific. And you can sign up either at the website, etchedmarketing.com/freebies. Look for the 3-day website traffic booster class. Or if you're on Insta, because I can't believe I got it to work, but I have the little chat bot. If you DM the word traffic right now, it'll actually help you get signed up.
Nice.
And then you can join. So it's going to be a 3-day class where you're going to learn a little more about how SEO works and the keywords and what we do on your website. And then if you're ready, you can join me in Simple SEO Content, which is the course that Tracy's in, that takes you through step by step. It's 11 modules. We do it over 8 weeks. We have a weekly live Q&A call, very much like this. We're on Zoom. It's basically the same thing, where I stay till the end. I answer your questions. If you have them, you get an answer. Because everybody has questions as they're learning this.
Yes, they do. And I love in the group where somebody would say, okay, I'm lost. I don't know what I'm doing. And you'd be like, okay, share your screen, or you would share your screen and you would literally say, show us, it wasn't just this high level 30,000 foot view of this is the what and the why. It was the how, and it was the digging into that person's actual question and actual need, because we were all coming from different spots. I love that. Okay, Karen asked, is it one keyword or can it be a combination of 2 words? She said coach versus divorce coach.
Excellent question, Karen. So the terms here, one keyword is referred to as a fathead, meaning one word. Long tail is anything from like 3 to 5, could even be 6. As a small business owner, long tail, multiple keywords is what you're going to look for. Those big terms like single word, like coach or handbags or mirrors, you're not going to rank for them. My clients at the agency who paid a minimum of $100,000 a year in SEO fees to work with me, they ranked for them. But they were gigantic businesses. Like they had stores in the malls and hundreds of locations.
Got it.
As small business, I'm never going to rank for those kind of words because I don't have that kind of website.
Yeah.
So don't even try them. You're not going to rank for them.
Right. Got it. Scotty asked, she said, I have a hard time deciding and finding the right keywords for someone just starting out and with not a lot of money to invest. What do you suggest?
So you're going to want to use a keyword research tool to really help you, Scotty. So you can use some free ones or they're paid ones. So from free ones, I like Small SEO Tools. It does limit you to how many you can check in a day. My favorite free, though it's a little more difficult to use or to get to, is the Google Keyword Planner, just because it's straight from Google and there's no limit to how many searches. A lot of the paid tools will give you like 3 searches a day, which is useless. It's not going to help you. 3 free searches a day is going to take you weeks to find your keyword.
Okay.
In the Google Keyword Tool, you have to go into AdWords to access it. So you go to ads.google.com. You have to set up an account. You have to give your credit card information. It's a pain in the butt. It used to be separate. It was much easier, but they want to force people into AdWords. You never, ever have to run an ad. My credit card that's in there expired 5 years ago. Okay. So don't worry about that. Like just set it up. And then what you want is the keyword planner. If you're looking for a paid tool, Keywords Everywhere is a good, easy paid plugin for keyword research.
Yes.
And then most of my students really seem to like Uber Suggest. It's paid, but it's a low price point. It's $29 a month. Most of the SEO tools that we used in the agency world are hundreds a month, like Moz and SEMrush and Ahrefs and stuff. They're anywhere from $100 to $400 a month for access. So you don't need that. Save your money. Free or cheap is what you want.
Yeah. I like free and cheap.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a couple more questions. Michael asked, are there ways to help us figure out the right keyword? I know my audience well, but which of the dozens of words are the right ones to use?
Join me in class because that's what we talk about for weeks on end. So well, in all honesty, that's like the first 4 weeks of every session is all about keywords because that's where all the questions come from.
Right.
What you want to look for, Michael, as far as you've got a bunch of options, the perfect keyword is the one with the most search volume, the closest related to your ideal customer's needs or wants. So, from a context standpoint,
Mhm.
that you can rank on page 1 for. So you're
Mhm.
going to have to review the keywords that you're thinking about and think about the context behind that search. What information are they truly looking for? Who are the competitors that are ranking? And is this the right keyword for you?
Okay, cool. And I have a question. I'm looking over here on my iPad
Mhm.
because I can't see the person's name on StreamYard. It's Samantha, and she said, if I do all the right things, will my small website host still work against me? Samantha, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by your Rachel, does that make sense to you? The small
Yeah.
website host?
Are
Okay.
you so are you on a shared server where you're sharing bandwidth with someone else, Samantha? Is that part of the problem on the small website host? Because generally, you want to have, as you grow, you're going to want a dedicated server. This is a little more technical, but it allows your site to be faster. What you can do, Samantha, is go check Google Page Speed Insights. Just literally go to Google and type Page Speed Insights. Put your website in there, and Google will tell you how fast your site loads
Okay.
and if there are issues. Generally, Google wants your site to be fast. I have a blog post on mine about Google loves a speedy site, and it kind of talks about why it needs to be fast. The number one issue I see, sometimes it's that you have a small host and you're shared, and so you're fighting for bandwidth with someone else. If that's the case,
Mhm.
upgrade. Just spend a little more money, get a dedicated server. The other issue tends to be our image file sizes. If you're not already minifying, you're making them small.
Yes.
If you're not already making your images small,
Right.
you need to start doing that. And you need to go back through and update the ones that you have. So if
Okay.
you're on WordPress, you can do a plugin like WP Smush.
Mhm.
It'll do it for you. I use JPEG Mini. There's
Yes.
all sorts of tools. If you have access to Photoshop or Lightroom, you just save for web and it's going to automatically do it for you. Your images need to be small because big images slow things down. And Google does not want a slow site because your consumer does not want a slow site. They're going to bounce in like 3 seconds
Right.
if you don't load.
Right. Got it. Okay. This is great. I don't see any more questions in the comments, but you guys, if you have questions, if you're coming to us on replay on no matter the platform, ask your question, tag me, tag Rachel. And if you're on YouTube, I will find Rachel and I will have her answer the question. No worries. We got you. Now there's one last thing I want to ask you because this was the one of the coolest tips I learned from you in class. Oh, and Jill has the link to your 3-day event next week, and she put that in the comments as well. So everybody should have access to that. Okay, if you have a pop-up on your website,
Yes.
tell us how we should set the delay time. What's the ideal delay time on that and why? Because this was a really cool tip I learned from you.
You do not want a pop-up that loads automatically when they land on your site because Googlebot, which is the crawler that's going to go and index everything, cannot do that. It can't make the click. It can't enter anything. So you basically just say, don't index my site, which means you're never going to show up. You're never going to rank. I don't want you on here. So you want to have at least a 30-second crawl delay. I usually do between 20 and 30 seconds. I limit pop-ups to my blog
Okay.
because I want to get email addresses. So if you go to my blog, almost every post is going to have an option to sign up for the quick start guide. But after 20 to 30 seconds, it's also going to have a pop-up that comes up and offers it to you. And it does convert well. So,
Awesome.
and I'm sure you teach them to do that, but make sure you have it on a delay.
Love it. Yes. Love it. Gosh, that was gold when I was in class. I was like, and I immediately went and told my tech VA. I was like, change that. So,
Change this. And
oh my gosh.
happens. We had it happen at the agency all the time with big companies and these, huge teams. And you're like, guys, Google can't index anything on your site because of this. And they're like, what do you mean?
Right. I know.
So,
Wow. Just one simple thing, man. All right. Oh my gosh, this has been such good information. Rachel, thank you so much for being here with us. Truly, truly appreciate your expertise and the way that you teach this, because it makes it so much less intimidating. And I, as tech is not my love language, you know that. Whenever I find somebody like you that can break it down to like a first grade level for me, it's just so comforting. So thank you for sharing your gift with us. And okay, my friends, this has been awesome. Show Rachel some love in the comments. Sign up, grab her quick start guide. Definitely do her 3-day challenge next week. I have known Rachel for a while. She is an absolute expert and wealth of information. I am not kidding. And if by any chance she does not know the answer to something you ask her, she will find out the answer because she wants to know too. And if you're not already part of our Facebook group, you need to be in here. It's called Be a Confident Entrepreneur, Get Visible, Grow Your Income. We have over 1,800 entrepreneurs in this group. It is a collaborative, supportive community where you can post things like this and ask for help. And experts like Rachel are in the group and they will help you. You can say, I'm stuck on SEO. I'm using this, this, and this, and this is why it's not working. And if the answer is more complicated, then you can DM somebody like Rachel and hopefully hop on Zoom and have and answer a question or join her class or something like that. But here's what I want you guys to do next. Because of Rachel, you can begin to dial in all your SEO strategies and attracting more ideal clients to your website, where hopefully you've got some awesome free lead magnets front and center for them to opt into, maybe in a pop-up like we talked about, so that they end up on your email list. And once they get that lead magnet, my question is, where do they go next with you? What's the next step? Where are your lead magnets leading your clients? So I want you to go to tracybeavers.com/magnet, grab my free guide to walk you through the thought process of, okay, they've got my lead magnet, now what? And there's some things that you're not thinking about, I guarantee it. So go and grab that, and I hope it helps you. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here with us today. You hear me say this every week. I want to know what you want to hear more about, what you want to learn about. If there's something you're struggling with, you're curious about, let me know. I will find an expert to bring them in and talk to us once a month. Be here live with me every Thursday at 11:30 Central. Put it on your calendar, set a phone alarm so you don't miss it. And the biggest thing I want you to hear today, other than all the SEO tips, don't go it alone. Being an entrepreneur is freaking hard. And some days everybody wants to buy what you're selling, and other days nobody can remember your name. And if you think you are alone in that for 1 minute, you are not. I guarantee it. I have coached hundreds of entrepreneurs over the years. It doesn't matter if you're on day one, hour one, or you're 15 years in and you're making a gazillion dollars a year. We all feel that way. So come into my Facebook group, get the support that you're looking for free, and hang out with us. And let's make this building our business thing a lot easier. Rachel, thanks again. I am going to go ahead and sign us off. You guys have a great week, great balance of the week, and have an awesome, awesome weekend. We will see you next week.